Hello and welcome back to our channel. We truly hope you enjoyed our first two videos because there's so much more to come. Today we have some kickin' chicken kebabs for you on the meat side of things. Over here we have 4 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is great for this marinade. It will soften the chicken and make it so juicy when it comes off that grill. Great choice for your base for your marinade. Next to the mayonnaise, I have 3 seasonings here. We have 2 tablespoons of Spanish paprika, but please feel free to use any kind of ground paprika. We also have 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, and we also have 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, which is equivalent to 4 cloves of minced garlic. In my next dish, I have 1 teaspoon of sea salt. And then moving along, we have 2 tablespoons of Vegeta, which is a European dry vegetable seasoning. You can use any dry vegetable seasoning, even packets of Lipton soup will work. We do use a lot of seasonings that we get at the European import store. If you don't have one nearby, feel free to get any kind of dry vegetable seasoning. It will work. Now next to that, we have 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. This is really good to add to the marinade. The citrus in the lemon juice gives the meat even more flavor and makes it so much more tender. Great addition. And over here to my right, I have 4 tablespoons of olive oil. We love olive oil. You don't necessarily have to use olive oil. We do prefer it. However, you can use vegetable oil, canola oil, or sesame oil as well. Here I have 4 red bell peppers. We love peppers and onions. You don't have to use 4 bell peppers. You can use less. But our families come from a region in the Balkans where we are known as the pepper people. So we love our peppers. Having said that, it seems that I have left out the main ingredient in my kickin' chicken kebabs. So here I have 3 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast. We're going to cube the breasts, and then we're going to mix them in this big bowl here with our other ingredients, but we're going to do the marinade first. So let's get on that, and here we go. First thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get our mayo into the big bowl. Make sure we get all of that scraped off and in there. This is a big ingredient in our marinade. And now we're going to put our 3 seasonings in there. We're going to get our 2 tablespoons of paprika, pepper, and garlic powder. And a little bit of salt in there. And we're going to get our vegetable seasoning in. And now we're going to put our lemon juice in there. And in goes the olive oil. And now we're going to go ahead and whisk all that together. There we go. Let's just make sure that that's all mixed real nice. All right. That looks good. Nice and thick. And it's time to cube our chicken and get that in there. So let's get going. First thing we're going to do, we're going to put our gloves on. As you remember from my first video, I don't like to get my hands dirty, so I do put my rubber gloves on. Now we're going to go ahead and lay our chicken breast down on the cutting board. Sometimes the chicken breast comes, even though it's skinless and boneless, with a little bit of fat on it. So I've gone ahead and trimmed that off. It just makes it easier after it grills to eat, so you're not fighting through that fat. So what I like to do, I like to cut the breast long ways right down the middle. And then I can cube it by going across the breast. And I'll get some nice cubes for the skewers. So let's go ahead and cut this right down the middle long ways. And then we'll just turn it, hold it, and then we'll go ahead and cut about 1 inch apart, and that gives us 2 cubes per cut. All right, great. We'll just go ahead and drop that right into our marinade, and we'll go ahead and get the rest of the breast cut. Now that all of our chicken has been cubed and is in our bowl with the marinade, let's just go ahead and get that all mixed in. Make sure that we get the marinade to coat all of the chicken breast. So don't be afraid, you can dig in with your hands as well. We want to make sure that all of the chicken is coated with the marinade. There you go. Everything looks great. Now we're going to go ahead and cover the bowl with some plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator while we prep the peppers and the onions. Okay, our peppers and our onions are prepped and ready to go. We brought our chicken out of the refrigerator, and now we're ready to put our shish kebabs together. Basically, I've cut the peppers into approximately 1 inch by 1 inch squares, and the onions are about the same size. I prefer to keep them about this size. They just grill much better that way. My skewers are metal. I prefer to have them metal. I like them to be a little bit longer, and that way I can keep the food about 2 to 3 inches away from each end of the skewer. And also, it makes it easier to turn the food on the grill that way. When I'm putting my shish kebabs together, I like to keep the skewer horizontal with the cutting board and just slide the vegetables and the meat on the skewer. It's just easier to put it together this way. I always start with a pepper or the onion on one end, and then I go ahead and put the meat in next. Even if you don't like peppers and onions, please use them. They just give so much flavor to your chicken. And when you slide them off the skewer after you grill them, you can always set the peppers and onions aside for someone that does like to eat them. But the chicken is so much more flavorful with the peppers and the onions on the kebabs. I highly suggest you keep them there. And what I like to do is just put vegetable meat, all the way to the end. You can put 1 piece of chicken per 1 vegetable, or you can do a vegetable and 2 pieces of chicken, depending on how many shish kebabs you want to make. You can pretty much do whatever you want. The main thing is you have the chicken marinated to perfection, and you've got your vegetables cut, and you're going to get your shish kebabs together and get them on that grill, and they are going to be kickin' chicken kebabs. All right, our grill is getting piping hot. We're just gonna go ahead and scrape off all the excess, get it nice and clean for our shish kebabs, and let's get them out here. Everybody's getting hungry. It's time for some Kickin kebabs. All right, we're gonna go ahead and set them down right next to each other. Try to get them as close as we can without them touching. We do have 12 of them, so thankfully I do have a wide and deep grill. I can get them on here, but it looks like it's going to take a little bit of repositioning. But man, does this smell good. Wow. I'm going to need a bodyguard soon to keep my neighbors away. They're already peeking out of their windows. So every 3 to 4 minutes, I like to turn them at a quarter turn. There we go. That's going to ensure that each side gets equal coverage down on the grill, and they're just going to cook so good. So just continue to do this for every 3 to 4 minutes, and you'll have the best kebabs in about 15 minutes. All right, let's get this lid down and let these babies cook. Folks, I'm not kidding. These are some Kickin chicken kebabs. You're gonna really enjoy them. Trust me. Oh man, it looks like they're just about ready. We're gonna go ahead and plate them. There we go. Oh, now I'm using these grill mitts. They're really, really nice. They're heat resistant, and I can get a good grip on the kebabs. And here we go. Doesn't that look great? Smells absolutely out of this world. And I've got the family behind me ready to go, so let me get them off these skewers so you guys can get a closer look. I'm gonna go ahead and cut one for you. Look at that. Juicy in the middle, got a little bit of a crisp on the outside. Put it together with a red pepper and some onion. Yum.